Hello, haere welcome to this video. Now today I'm very, very fortunate and lucky to have a guest with me.
Hello.
Harrison. This is Harrison. Harrison for Scholes. Come on, I only said Harrison Ford. See, I'm going to leave that in. Okay. Otherwise, also known as Harry Scholes to people perhaps that know him a bit better. He's okay with both. Anyway, he's my guest today. Now, this is only the second interview. For any of you who've watched my channel before will know that. So this is only my second interview, and it's exciting to have another musician here. And not only that, another bass player like Andrew Featherston was. Now, I became aware of Harry, I don't know, probably maybe 4 years ago when you were still at, was that about right? When you were still at jazz school?
Yeah.
And I think I first saw him at a gig at the Rogue, and I can't remember if it was you playing with Arjuna Oaks or whether it was, were you playing with Arjuna when you were also still at jazz school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Second year,
So that would be right. And then after that, I saw you do jazz school thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm going to hand you over to Harry. He's going to tell you a little bit about his journey with music, and we'll see where that takes us.
Well, I guess I started. My parents are musical. My dad's like in the classical scene. He's a conductor and composer and clarinetist.
Wow. 3
C's. And my mum is a violin player, and my stepmom's an opera singer. So
oh my God.
Lots of music.
Wow, that's amazing.
Surrounded by it. Didn't really have much of a choice, you know.
Yeah,
sort of
I can relate to that.
You.
Not that I've been like that, but
when you're around it, yeah.
Yeah, but other people I've met both in my acting world and the music world who are born into families.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're there by default almost.
Yeah. It kind of takes over. And I started playing piano first, but and like reading music and doing more sort of classical stuff.
Piano was your first instrument.
Yeah, I didn't really go very far with piano though.
Okay.
I don't know, struggled a little bit. Didn't have heaps of fun with it. But then started learning bass off my older brother, who also Eric, who's also a bass player, and he sort of taught me the first bit of stuff, you know, got me into it, and then
Eric.
Yeah. Have you met him?
Hang on, is Eric your brother?
No. Yeah, my older brother. Yeah.
Oh, so he
like
played.
You met him one night at the Rogue or something.
Oh, perhaps wasn't aware that he was your brother. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, we looked very similar.
Oh, really? Like almost like you could be a twin.
Yeah.
So hang on.
Some people get.
So your older brother Eric
is a bass player.
Is a bass player.
Yeah.
Wow. And he still is.
Yeah. Because I think. I just started learning off him as something to do. It wasn't like I really wanted to
bass, and because he was a bass player, you thought,
it was
have
real
a go
easy.
at this.
Yeah. And then I think I got into bands and things, and I think intermediate was I started playing in a band.
Right.
And I was still sort of unsure about it and if I wanted to play bass, but kind of got stuck.
Yeah.
In this role, you know, and then once people know you as a bass player, I feel like then you're like. They hold on to you, you know.
People are always looking for bass players, right?
Bass players, so.
Is that the old thing they used to say way back in the 60s and 70s? Everybody wants to play guitar or be the lead singer.
Yeah.
No one wants to.
And drums.
Is it still the case? In a lot
I
of ways?
think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it's
more work for the bass players.
Yeah. Lots of gigs. And then I feel like I kind of found the love for it later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like started out, just sort of fell into it, and then started getting really into it, and kind of haven't been able to get away from it since. And after high school, I moved down to Wellington and went to jazz school.
Right.
And just sort of met
New Zealand School of Music, right? The jazz
NZSM,
right.
And then met like heaps of amazing people through that, and like that's how all these people on your list.
Yeah, the list, which I forgot to mention. I do have a list here. A few of the bands Harry's played with. But I'm just going to mention initially some of the ones of more recently that he's currently playing with. So there's a band called WIRI DONNA, and there's also a band called Toy, which were previously known as Tunes of I. Some of you may know of them. And he's also played with a singer, keyboardist. What else does Juno play?
Oh,
Mainly that,
yeah, it's just keys.
Juno Oakes, who some of you may have heard of. He's over in the UK now, but he's got quite a bit of his own stuff out online, and is quite a cool composer. He's got a lot of cool stuff out there. So Harry's played with him, and I also must mention the most recent band that Harry is dubbed the sort of spokesperson leader of at the moment, dare I say, of a band called Freq. Now you might think Freq, F-R-E-A-K. No, it's F-R-E-Q, as in frequency.
As in frequency.
Quite clever, isn't it?
Trashy music pun.
Anyway, I was fortunate enough to see them. Now, how long have Freq been together?
Maybe sort of like vaguely started 6 months ago.
6 months ago, vaguely
we
started.
kind of only really got serious. Like,
And I've seen them twice recently, right? and were they your first couple of gigs, or?
we did one a while ago at Rogue, but that was a lot more loose because we were still figuring it out, and that was just
Right,
sort of a test.
okay.
But these were more polished. Like we've actually got a set
Okay,
list
so
now.
these are like your second and third gigs, if you like.
Yeah.
So, I was fortunate to go and to see them at their second and third gigs. And to my surprise, because I don't think it said anything in the bleep about it being original music.
Oh yeah.
Did it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it did.
Should I put that?
Yes, from now on,
Okay.
whenever the next Freq one is.
Yeah.
That was a freak mistake. No, but I was blown away because also in Freq is, any of you who know the band TAHINI BIKINI from Wellington? Well, Maddy, the lead singer, is also in Freq. And so that intrigued me, and I thought, well, this will be interesting. Unbeknown to me, I've since found out that Harry has recently joined TAHINI BIKINI, so it all makes sense, doesn't it? So anyway, yeah, so those are four of the bands that he's currently with. Well, Arjuna's in England, but that you may have heard of. That he plays. He also played with Devon Welsh. He's pretty well known.
Yeah.
And there's numerous other bands here who are probably more improv bands and cover bands that I may mention later on, or he might want to mention. I don't know. And there may have been bands I've missed because Harry seems to be into. I'll say this. From what I've observed and heard around town, Harry has become one of the most in-demand electric bass players in the city currently. Would that? I suppose you can't.
I don't know.
That's not fair asking him that, is it? I have to. But anyway, that's what I've heard, right? And I get it. And I just want to say, it's nice to have someone young. Here's me, an old guy, doing this, and people think, fuck it, some old guy talking about old shit, Well, I want you to know that I like new shit too, and I like young musicians. And when I first saw Harry play, there was something about his playing. I can't even explain what it is. It was a vibe, right? That Harry had that drew me in, and I thought there's something about this guy. It was the way he picked his bass up a bit. He did all this, not showy stuff, but just stuff when he's getting into it, And then he smiles a lot, and he checks in with the other band members. I love that. It's just infectious stuff, and I'm sure other people that play with Harry will attest to that. So I was drawn in by that, and I thought that, and as the time went on, I noticed, technically his playing just got better and better. And I'm like, and next thing you know, he's come out of jazz school. And he's getting calls from all these bands like Toy and TAHINI. I think, did you play with, if I got that right, did you film with Rob Ruha or was that?
No.
What was that that gig you did with Darren?
Oh, with Tyner.
Oh, was it Tyner Keelan?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Rob, no.
Sorry, Rob. Sorry, Tyner. I've met, I know Tyner a little bit.
Oh,
I've met Rob, both lovely guys, incredible musicians.
Yeah.
But my bad there.
Yeah. I think because Johnny was busy.
Johnny was with Tyner. Yeah.
But Tyner's amazing.
Well, Tyner is amazing. He's so cool. I think he's got a new single out, or is he doing an album, something like that?
Yeah.
So, what else do we want to say here? So now, you got out of jazz school and you played. Do you want to? I don't know. Is there anything you want to talk about more? Like being a bass player. Some people think that aren't really into the rhythm sections. I am big time. Some people think, oh yeah, but they're just the guys at the back doing the plodding along,
drinking the beer.
But no. Have a closer look and open your ears because they do a lot of shit. And Harry here does a lot of shit as well as creating an infectious vibe. You can't ask for more than that, can you? But I want to say, and a thing I've noticed, and I talked before we started this video, I talked to Harry a little bit about it. Harry seems to be getting into an area with his own sound where he's using a lot more effects. He doesn't need effects. He's an incredible bass player without them. But what I'm saying is he uses these to change the sound, make something new, and bring something a little bit different, and it's creating different sounds, and it's really interesting. I find it is. Do you want to talk a bit about that, Harry?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess sort of started out from like a covers band perspective. It's like you get like a whole bunch of songs, and half of them these days especially will have like synth bass as the bass part. Right. So, and it feels a bit lame to just play that normally when it's like this like dirty, filthy synth bass line.
Yeah.
So like that was the idea, is to try and mimic those sounds, and that's kind of how I've figured out all of that stuff. Is just I've got these pedals. How can I sort of create that? And then a lot of the songs going online and watching a lot of YouTube videos of people playing and different pedals and stuff to figure out how to make that sound that you're chasing. But then
that's interesting.
But then I think it's sort of evolved to try and fulfill other avenues as well, because you can, with these effects you can create like atmosphere sounds and textures and I guess sort of step on a keys player's toes, or like a guitar player's
the
toes,
atmospheric type things that you're creating.
Get all those weird sort of textures and I guess because everyone most musicians are always broke, so it's good to be able to fill some other roles in a band.
Right.
So if you can't bring 100-piece band.
Yeah, and if you're a smaller band, and you can't afford a brass section or whatever it is, or a Moog synthesizer or whatever.
Exactly, and so try and fill that stuff has been sort of like I guess a side goal, is trying to figure, because I really enjoy people who play everything. There's a lot of sort of these, I guess, like modern one-man bands. Have you heard of Nate Wood? Have you seen that guy before?
Oh, is he the drummer guy?
He's a drummer, and then he's playing the bass while playing the drums.
I only know Nate Wood, the drummer. Does he play with Corey Wong, or used to?
Oh, yeah, I think
the Flying, what are they called?
Oh, that's Nate
offshoot?
Smith.
Oh, Nate Smith. Oh, Nate Wood.
You got to check out Nate Wood. He plays the drums.
Is he African-American guy? No.
Yeah. I think so. I don't know where he's from.
Ah, no, shit.
But he just like is basically a one-man band.
Isn't that like Jacob Collier?
Yeah,
Am I off track?
Yeah. Oh, kind of, kind of similar to what Jacob Collier.
Oh, Louis Cole.
Yeah, Louis Cole. That sort of stuff. Yeah, where he's playing the keys as well.
Yeah.
But I guess like figuring out with the limitations of the instrument how you can add other elements. I guess because you being a big fan of slap bass, you know, it's sort of fulfilling the role
I
of the
am,
drums
but
as well.
don't get me wrong on this, and I mentioned to this before the interview to Harry. I love slap bass, sure. I mean, it's got to be good, aka Marcus Miller or something like that.
Yeah,
It's got to be low down, dirty. I mean, but on the other hand, I've become more of an enhancement guy. And you may say, what the fuck's he on about? Enhancement is where they just, instead of doing a whole lot of flashy, well, it's not always flashy, but mean slapping, they might just chuck in a little, what do you call them, pops
A
or
little pop, yeah.
yeah, and just that, it's just the timing of it, and you go, and there's something about the timing of it, and you hear it, and you go, oh wow, that was out of it.
Yeah,
They just snuck it in there, you know. I'm a big fan of that, but yeah. Sorry, what were we talking about?
I guess effects and things, yeah.
Yeah, the effects. Well, it's interesting what you said about mean. What did you say? Like dirty
Yeah.
synthesizer bass sounds.
Yeah.
See, you say that is quite the opposite of what I kind of used to. Well, I think in a way.
Yeah.
Like I always used to think, you know, like sometimes I see a band where the bass player will put his bass down and he'll play bass synths. 9 times out of 10, I go, no, go back to the real bass, right?
Yeah.
What Harry's saying here almost contradicts what he's trying to achieve. I don't know. Would it? He's going, it's such a mean bass down, but how can I do that on the bass?
Yeah. Well, I guess because it's so different and you can't produce those noises without assistance.
But now that you mention it like that, now I'm thinking in another way again, like almost like you want to get that mean sound of a synth bass, but on a real bass, but using these perhaps different and newish effects.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But
well, also because I don't have the like keys chops.
Yeah, it's still the bass version of it, not the synth.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's kind of, is it turning the tables almost in a funny sort of way, or you haven't thought it?
I mean, yeah, I guess
This
it's
is
kind of
so
backwards.
interesting. See, this is why Harry's your man. But you better get in quick. Harry's off overseas, and when is it?
A few months, March.
We're losing him. What are we going to do without Harry? What's Freq going to do? What's Toy going to do? What's WIRI, DONNA? It won't be the same for any of those bands. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, someone else will come in and do
Yeah.
their own. But to me, no. Anyway, so you're going overseas in February and to London to live,
Yeah.
and you're thinking of staying there a little while to see if you can crack the scene.
I
don't know. We're just getting involved. Just have an experience. Have an experience.
Live.
And fortunately, some of Harry's ex-bandmates and friends from Arjuna Oaks band, namely drummer Sam Notman, very good drummer, he's already over there, and it could well be that they may team up again. And in fact, you're
Hopefully.
doing it before, but Arjuna's coming here in the summer, and
Got a couple gigs.
he's going to got a couple of gigs, and when are they?
Do you want me to pull out the actual dates or?
If they're handy. They're in February, aren't they?
Parrot Dog gig.
Parrot Dog gig. I think that one's free for you people who are
it's
really
free.
short on the dollars.
It's 17th of January, and then
17th of January at Parrot Dog. That's out Lowell Bay Way, right?
Oh wait, no, sorry, that's wrong. That's
hang on, correction coming up.
that's the Auckland gig. It's the 7th of February. You were right.
7th of February.
Parrot Dog, yeah.
And what was the other one?
Then the 17th of January is in Auckland.
Oh, there's only one gig here.
Yeah, it's just the one gig here. Yeah.
Oh my God, I better get to that.
Yeah.
7th of January. Fucking if you name that out. So, do you know the lineup? Sam?
Sam will be going then, but Lennox is going to be playing, which will be real mean.
Oh, no, Sam.
Yeah, because I think he's just coming back for like a few weeks.
I think I saw somewhere he was initially advertised.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
I got that wrong. Did I blow it? I'm sure I read something. Anyway,
Yeah,
it might have been something Arjuna, maybe earlier on
yeah.
when he
It could've
was,
been
but
about
the
the
dates
Auckland
weren't going to work.
gig, yeah.
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah,
Auckland
yeah.
gig. I don't know. And who else? So Lennox is a good drummer, and he's an up-and-coming drummer. Check him out. Lennox, how do you say his last name?
Oh, I think Group Yarns.
Groot Yarns. Now look out for this guy,
I'm not
right?
sure. I feel bad if he watches.
For those of you who are Maori, he's Tūhoi, right? Lennox is a very good up-and-coming drummer. I've watched him grow over the years.
Yeah.
So you'll have, will Joe be there?
I think Joe will be playing.
Joe Jenkins,
He's
underrated guitarist.
Yeah.
Look out for Joe. So, and James.
Yeah, I think if he can come down for it, he might be.
James McEwen might be there on trumpet if he lives up in Auckland.
Yeah.
You know, so it'll be, get to the Parrot Dog, for
Yeah,
Christ's sake. Are there any other bands, or is it just you guys?
There should be an opener. I don't know yet. I don't know these details.
It's early days yet, mate.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. And don't miss your last chance to see Harry before he goes. Look, if you haven't seen him, go to the Parrot Dog on January the 7th.
7th, yeah.
And watch Arjuna Oaks, which Harry's part of that band. It'll be incredible. And it's free.
Yeah.
You can't moan about that. God. I was going to say, lost my track. What I did want to ask you, Harry, on the subject of you being one of your last gigs, are there any other gigs you're doing anywhere in New Zealand, Aotearoa, in the next, between now and when you go aside from Arjuna's?
There's a couple with Toy. We're playing on Boxing Day.
So he's with Toy?
In Hastings, which will be quite
Boxing Day in Hastings.
At Blackburn.
Now, my view, I just say this, putting my 2 cents worth in here. Since Harry and Leo joined Toy, it's hell to play, mate. I saw them at this thing at Waitangi Park. Once they started grooving, forget it. It was unbelievable. Couldn't believe it. But I love Toy anyway. I love the old Toy, but there's something about those two guys. They've both got the X factor. Leo Coghini, is that who says his name?
Yeah.
Check Leo out.
Yeah.
He's an unbelievable keyboardist, and like Harry, he's got a vibe. Nothing phases Leo, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. Never seen him stressed, too serious, or whatever. Unbelievable. Anyway, so Toy and
There's a couple. Yeah.
Hastings. Where's the other one?
Then another one with we're opening up for Freddy's for Factory
You're
Shop.
opening for Freddy's.
Yeah, which will be cool.
And Conway will be playing.
Yeah,
Hey, hang on.
Good double gig, yeah.
Oh my
Which
God.
is pretty cool, yeah.
Did Conway have something to do with that? Come on. No. So when's that? Where's that? And where is it?
That's also in Hastings, I think 1st of March. It's like right before we leave.
Better move to Hastings, mate. God.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't go to either of those with Toy.
Oh, no.
When are they? January the...
Oh, there's one in Boxing Day. So that's like next week.
Oh.
It's just coming up, yeah.
And the other one is...
1st of March.
Oh,
So,
I'll be back by then.
Yeah, it'll be a cool gig.
I'll be back by then.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could be going 24 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not bad. So, is there anything else? Are there other things you want to talk about? I mean, about what you want to do with your own music, either as your own thing and own bands, or as a sideman, or perhaps people that you'd love to play with, or areas of music you want to venture more into, or anything like that you want to talk about?
I guess I really like working and helping like other people, make their music making my own music's always really weird, and
right.
I
So
I don't enjoy that
more
as
a
much as,
collective
like,
band sort of
working
situation.
with other people.
Yeah.
However, that, like, as a sideman is always like way more fun, less stressful.
Right.
rather
Yeah.
than-
Yeah.
It's kind of easier, I find, to, like, give your time rather than ask for other people's time.
Yeah. It's a lot of hats to wear, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're leader of a band, it's
Yeah,
your own
it's
music, and you got to.
too much
And
stuff.
if you haven't got a manager, and you got to organise all the gigs or whatever.
Yeah. Whereas,
Totally.
and people really, I like helping someone do that,
Yeah.
rather than having.
Oh, right, like a assistant manager.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess just try and do more and more of that, and work with new people, and explore lots of different stuff. I don't want to try and just do one thing. It's just kind of whatever happens.
Yeah. And are there sort of areas, or I don't know, I don't want to pigeonhole it, but are there sort of areas of music that you want to get into? I don't know, genre wise, or is there something you want to get more into, or is it
like
all
sort of dancey stuff?
Well, I don't know.
That's my main kind
Is
of.
that?
Yeah.
You like
stuff that people move to is always. It's
appealed to you.
Playing those gigs is more fun.
Yeah.
I like doing a serious sit down, that can be really nice. But
so when you
having
say
a bit of a
dance
party-
gigs, I'm always intrigued by this. Everybody seems to have a different idea. Of what's
I mean,
dancing.
I don't know. Yeah.
But can you give me an example of, I don't know, any band or someone you've played with that's sort of dancey?
Well, Toy gets a real party going. They.
Toy.
It's like the first gig I played with them was at Twisted Frequency Festival. Do you know this New Year's
I've heard
festival?
of it. I don't. Where is that?
In Golden. Oh, what's it called? Takaka. It's in Takaka,
Right.
just top of the South Island. And that's a great New Year's festival. It gets.
I've been to a festival down the years ago.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably the same people.
Yeah.
They come out of the woodwork, I tell you.
This one's real big now, and people come from all over. But that was really cool. There's just a huge crowd, and everyone's really into it. And
Yeah, festivals are good, eh?
Yeah.
They are
That
good.
stuff's amazing.
Because you can play your own stuff. You can do.
Yeah.
There's no band member
Everyone's
saying
already
play
there.
some top 40. We want to hear from well, that bullshit. Do your thing. That's what people come to see you for. So you do your own thing. It's much more. It gets you there, mate. And yeah. So dancing, yeah. Well, I think going back to that, when I saw you guys at Waitangi Park, that wasn't your first gig, eh?
No.
That was that one.
Yeah.
Now that you've said that, it was the crowd that day were dancing around.
Yeah.
You got it.
Cool. That's good.
Got it grooving. And I mean, I've seen Toy before, and I've seen them kind of do that before, but I think you and Leo have added to that dancey groove feel. That's my take on it. What do I know? Just an observation from afar, from the audience. Actually, I met, or I've now got to know him online, Leo's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Philip. He won't mind me mentioning this. He's a good guy. He was at that gig, right?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I hadn't. We'd become Facebook friends, and it's quite cool because he's always sending me this. Oh, Leo's just played on this one or something I didn't know he played on.
Yeah.
And then I'm at this table, and he goes hello, and I didn't even recognise him because I'd never met him in person before.
Yeah.
And then this is, and he was there with his lovely wife and grooving along, watching his son do it again, and then. That was when I realised, oh my God, Harry's in the band. What the hell? What is going on? Jesus Christ. Now, hang on. Makura, who was the original bass player, did you take over from him? Was there someone in between?
Tian played a gig.
Tian.
Yeah.
Who's Tian?
Tian Singh.
Oh, Tian. Yeah, of
plays-
course, that Tian. Right, I know who you mean.
Yeah.
Did he just do one gig with them? Or?
I think, he played because it was over like COVID as well. When
Yeah.
it sort of,
Right.
so there wasn't much going on anyway.
Oh.
And he played Tora Bombora with
Right.
them, which is, I think that was the first time I.
And did he
Toy.
did he
It was
not want to
amazing.
continue with it? I know he went overseas.
He went overseas.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah.
I'm not. I don't know what. Yeah. But
Who called you up for that gig? I shouldn't be asking these questions, eh? No, the people do that. How did you get the gig?
It was Luther, because I've been playing with Luther with Dev for a few years.
And he
lots of
thought
other
you
names,
would suit. He thought, Harry would slot in here well. We know how good he is.
And Luther and Jules, like, were both playing with Dev, which is
Right. I forgot Jules plays with
yeah.
Shit, it's Dev's band half a toy. What's going on?
Pretty much, yeah.
What's going on, mate? Family trees of Wellington musicians, you
I
know.
think, and Bryn's been playing as well, so.
You're right. You're right, because I was at that gig.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was the gig with Cyan and Devon, and is that the same gig?
I don't know.
The one at San Fran.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There
was Cyan, Devon,
Yeah.
two other bands or artists. I can't remember who the others were. Was it Rain? Kathy's band. It was run by Hivers Jams.
Hivers Jams, yeah, that's
Hivers
those
Jams.
guys, yeah.
There's a link on my website. I've had a bit to do with those guys.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
Hello to Darren if you're watching, and hello to Kathy,
Yeah.
the lead singer from. They have an interesting website, Hivers Jams, and they do live video stuff from their place here in Wellington, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they had a gig, as we're talking about now,
Dev, yeah.
and Cyan, Dev.
Can't remember the other.
I'll remember it after, one of those.
Yeah.
Okay,
Indeed.
so how did we get to here? We derailed, as you do. But we're allowed to. We're coming up 32 minutes, folks.
Yeah.
So, what were we talking about before that? About where you...
Luther hit me up for the
toy gig.
Yeah, I think it was
So,
after having
And
the jam.
I'm even intrigued how you got in WIRI DONNA.
I lived with Bianca, the singer, in halls. And
see,
I've known her for ages.
For me, that was a bit of a surprise to me when you
rock.
joined that band. I went, what? This is kind of... Well, I saw it as kind of alt rock. Is that a bit unfair?
No, I think that's probably it. Well, like indie rock or
sorry.
some of it gets a bit
alt
heavier.
rock, indie rock.
That's like the new term.
And I
I
thought,
guess.
Harry playing that stuff? Hang on a minute. But you made me want to go, because I thought, what
cool.
will Harry do to an indie rock band? That could be interesting, right? Do you think... I don't know. Did you see them before you joined?
No. I lived with Bianca and where she was starting.
Were you in the original lineup?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, my bad.
We've been playing around for a bit, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I've noticed that you got... I mean, it's still in a type of indie rock, if you could call it that, singer-songwriter band, indie rock, alternative rock. I don't know. If you want to put a label on it, but I think you've added a bit of, I don't know if it's soul, R&B, grooviness. That's it.
Okay.
In my view, Harry's added grooviness to the alt rock sound. That be fair? I don't know. That's how I see it. Which is interesting, because a lot of people go, old rock hasn't got much soul, it's not really groovy, it's not really funky. Go and see WIRI DONNA and you might change your mind. But be quick, Harry's leaving the country and WIRI DONNA won't be going with him in February. February? March.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay. So, anyway, Harry, what else do you want to tell us about? You want to talk about perhaps the Wellington music scene and how you found it, and I don't know, are there Are there challenges to it? I mean, I'm sure there's challenges. Are there things about it you love? I don't know, all these sort of things. Are there things about it that you don't love? I mean, speak up without, you know, you don't have to be...
Oh, I think like it's for such, you know, a small city comparatively to, you know, the rest of the world or like rest of New Zealand, it's a very high percentage of like incredible musicians who like there's a really strong community and everyone's supportive and nice and like, you know, not too much like egos and like I don't know, trying to fight each other for the gigs or whatever. There's none of that. I don't know.
A lot of respect and give and take and
just
generosity, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of generosity, and
a lot of love, mate.
Yeah, a lot of love. And everyone, you know, everyone goes to each other's gigs and plays together and stuff. But I guess, I mean, it's pretty hard, like during the winter when there's not too many gigs on and people aren't going out, and so it's hard, you know, kind of hard to make it work as a musician in that time. And also, I guess when your money's tied to your like hobby or not your hobby, your passion, what we were talking about, and then it gets a bit intense because not only I don't have any gigs so I can't pay rent, but also I'm real depressed because that's what brings me joy. So I guess that gets pretty rough.
It's a known thing, whether you're a musician, an actor, or any sort of creative artist. Probably 1 out of 3 suffers from some sort of anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
It's par for the course, mate.
Yeah.
You know, the black dog, here it comes. Gotta get rid of it. Gotta go and do a gig. No, seriously.
Yeah. But I mean, I do feel very like privileged and that I'm able to make it work with like other teaching and stuff, pick up stuff.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's pretty amazing, pretty lucky, but it definitely is quite interesting at times, you know.
Yeah. Now, in your own like mentors or influences, could you talk about that a bit? Like, and they can be local or overseas or whatever. People that have, I don't know, mentored you, inspired you, or, you know, in any way, profoundly or otherwise, you know, that you perhaps want to talk about, or?
I guess like a big inspiration. Do you know that band Hiatus Coyote?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know them well, but I have heard a little bit of their stuff.
I like that band.
Are they Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And like all their songwriting and production and everything is so amazing, and also the bass player is like incredible. He can just play anything, and it's outrageous. But he does a lot of stuff with effects as well, and changes the texture of the bass that way. And got really inspired by him and like how his parts work, and he's kind of like half playing the guitar because he's got like a big 6-string thing a lot of the time, doing lots of chords and all this, but like his sort of unorthodox, I guess, approach is really inspirational, you know, to be able to do that kind of stuff that he does.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a massive bird. Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, there's a whole lot of pigeons mainly. Sometimes you see the odd seagull. That hang out on I think it's about the 8th floor here. And there's a little alcove there where they can shelter.
Oh, God.
And also, it's on its own thing, so we can't get at them.
Yeah.
So they're protected.
Oh, safe.
Right?
Yeah, good little pigeon hangout spot.
And you often see them diving off there and they come swooping down. Wow. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
We digress.
But
we're talking about what's going on out the window. It's raining, unfortunately, you can't see much.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of
classic.
We're just talking about the bird life.
Yeah.
Close by.
But yeah, he's probably like my biggest inspiration at the moment. But like that always changes. Like was really into Mono Neon for a while.
Mono Neon, yeah.
Amazing. That guy Derek Hodge who plays.
Derek Hodge.
You know him? Yeah.
He's low down.
He's real low down. But yeah, like lots of different stuff, and yeah, like people in the scene and like what they like watching Johnny play, or like
Johnny Lawrence,
Zane and Phoebe are real amazing, and Jason, you know, and seeing how everyone's different sort of approaches and how they think about it is real. I feel like that's really cool. Having the Wellington bass scene is really strong and lovely, and so supportive. We've got our own little crew, you know.
Right, and you guys kind of know each other, and you hang out and you go to each other's gigs.
Nice.
That's so cool, isn't it? And for those of you who don't know, I run a page called Aotearoa Rhythm Sections for bass players, drummers and percussionists. Yeah. So you can find that on Facebook. So I'm pretty sort of aware of a lot of these people that Harry's talking about. It's an amazing little...
They're at all the gigs.
It's a great little thing. So that's Hiatus and Johnny and some of the local guys. Anyone else you can think of? It can be anybody from anywhere.
Well, I recently got really into this guy Charlie Hunter, who's like...
I know Charlie Hunter. He's the guy. He plays the bass licks on his guitar. I got that right.
It's got
while he's doing the guitar.
I think his one now has 3 bass strings and 3 guitar strings, so he can play the bass with his thumb and then play. And he's like an amazing blues player, but just the way he sort of is able to fulfill like multiple roles in the band is like really cool, but still with like outrageous groove. He's crazy.
He is. He's amazing. I love him too. Could that be something, you know, like kind of an area where you're trying to go with your bass thing and your effects?
Like
and your own thing, of course, but
like
you know,
exploring it. Like I'm also happy to just play the bass.
Yeah.
I feel like I worry about getting stuck in just doing this like weird stuff, but it's it's cool exploring all this other stuff. But I also do, you know, it's nice to just play the bass.
Right.
But, I definitely like have been doing a lot of like trying to figure out how he does his stuff and how to apply that to what I'm trying to do. So,
right. Is this more in your own stuff or Freq?
Well,
like you wouldn't do it. Do you do much of that in WIRI, DONNA?
I mean, sort of like, I guess with effects and stuff, fulfilling kind of the role of another guitar. Because often in like that sort of music,
so it's not...
There's like 3 guitars going or something.
It's not so much like how you do it.
It's a different approach. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I did a gig recently where normally there would be another guitar player playing like lead lines, but he wasn't going to be able to be there, so I was like, I'll just figure out how to play the bass line and these lead parts at the same time, and it was very difficult, but it kind of worked. I was I was quite happy with it afterwards. And
trying to think, somewhere I remember some guy, you've triggered something in my memory. I don't know if it's Miroslav Vitas. Have you heard of Miroslav Vitas?
No.
So I think he's from Czechoslovakia originally, but he was actually was he in the first lineup of Weather Report?
Oh wow!
But he's more acoustic, right? He does play. And he did a solo album called Magical Shepherd. God, I don't think I've still got a copy. And he's playing a double necked an electric instrument, and one part's a bass. And one part's a guitar. That was around so it kind of reminded me of what you were explaining. Kind of with Charlie Hunter a bit. But who's the other guy you were talking about? Was it the high?
Nate Wood.
Nate
Wood.
And back then, even just to have a double neck guitar, like John McLaughlin had one of the first, and of course Jimmy Page had one. But that was still a weird, rare thing, and even up to this day, you don't see it a lot. So it's kind of interesting, isn't it? That whole idea. Maybe Harry will be the new version of that. New whatever that evolves to. You know? God. So here we are once again with Harry Scholes. Harry, are you 25 or have I got that wrong?
25, yeah.
Harry's 25, a young guy, right? he's about to embark so very soon in March to the UK, where he's gonna check out his fortunes and the musical endeavours in London and no doubt Europe and all around there. At least it's not far to go, is it? You can be in London. Oh, I'm going to Germany for the weekend.
Yeah,
that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
It's the beauty of Europe,
Sort of
eh?
do a
You
bit
can't
of
do that
travelling.
here. You can only go to Oz.
Yeah.
Nothing else is close by.
Yeah,
Then you've
yeah.
got to jump in a plane. You can't just jump on a train like
Yeah.
you can in Europe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be
cool.
great. And you told me the other day, and I didn't know this, but of course it's off, that you, and when you joined TAHINI BIKINI, did you tell me you were going to play guitar, or you did play guitar?
I was playing guitar for a little bit. Yeah.
He was playing
some
guitar.
guitar.
Here we go.
Oh, well, I
Multi-talented,
was
see?
sort of like they were kind enough to let me play guitar. Like
Right.
I didn't really know what I was doing.
Were you
too
the
much.
only guitarist?
No. Have you met? You've probably met Alex.
Alex.
Scott Billing or Alex Isby.
Oh,
His band is called Isby.
has he always been in TAHINI BIKINI?
He's
really?
been not always, but he's
No.
been he was playing before me.
They had, when I saw them a while back, they had two guitarists. I don't know, it wasn't Scott Billing. It was a mystery who this other guy was. I could probably look it on my other video there on YouTube.
James Fizz, I don't know how to say his last name.
I don't know, but there was another guy who played keyboards and guitar, and he would switch over.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't remember. I didn't know them now.
So that sounds like TAHINI's had quite the lineup change.
Oh yeah, they've had a lot of people.
Like, is Barney still in the band?
Oh, I think he's just left.
Oh my God! So there's only Maddy from the original.
And Shiv's still around. Shiv's just come back, the trumpet player. I think I don't even know. But
yeah, I know the guy.
I think, but yeah,
it's a guy, eh? Shiv.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him now.
But I mean, you know, bands change and new people add different flavors and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Wow.
But I was sort of just playing like one note funk stuff because Alex had the chords down, so I was just sort of, you know, adding rhythmical stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of just playing the bass but a bit higher.
So is guitar something you like to do more of, or is it more
I mean, it would
a
definitely
case
be cool,
of...
but but I mean, just not super comfortable with it, so that some of it's not like as instant as you want it to
you
be.
feel at home bass is your instrument.
Yeah,
really.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
It'll always
feel,
be your first port of call.
on stage on something else, it would be not
Probably a
good
bit
vibe.
like Marcus Miller when he goes to play. What's that thing he plays?
Oh, well,
It's
the
an
bass
unusual.
clarinet.
It's bass clarinet.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's great. Yeah,
but you know, it's not. He's not going to be playing bass clarinet all the time, is he? But it still sounds amazing, you know.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though, and I guess, you know, like if you were gonna, but can you still play piano a little bit?
Oh, I mean,
Really. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to compose, so what do you compose on when you compose your own
it's
music?
sort of a bit of everything, like
But mainly,
Oh, mainly bass, but then
Oh, you
to
can-
like
it's
expand. Well, because like you've got like between the strings, like you can kind of create like a melody note and a bass note, and then from there you can sort of imagine what goes in between and fill it out.
I've never heard anyone explain it like this.
It's just because I'm more comfortable on that instrument.
Yeah.
And whereas on a piano, like when you've got an idea in your head, I'll be like fumbling around on the keys
Right.
for ages before I actually find out where's the bass is.
Because I always had the impression that most people that compose music in any genre, it's either often a piano, keyboard, or a
on guitar.
guitar.
Yeah.
Generally, would that
Well,
be
I think
fair?
yeah, because I mean, piano is like it's so visual. You've got your bass, and then here's where the chords go, and then here's the melody, and then you can just see it all. I think
the way it's set out.
And guitar, obviously, they've got like the widest range, right?
That's what WIRI's range.
Yeah.
Does that explain
You
it?
can't. So if you're trying to write something, you can write something on anything, I guess. But like if you're playing the trumpet and you wanted to play a bass line, you're
Would
pretty
it be
limited.
fair? Oh God, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that, there aren't many well-known composers or that are purely bass players? Perhaps, maybe there is in jazz
Yeah.
and instrumental music, but would that be fair to say, or have I got that wrong? What do I know?
Well, I mean, Paul McCartney, probably one of the most.
Yeah, but Paul McCartney, from what I understand,
Yeah.
not a bad drummer.
Oh yeah.
He
can
also
play a bit of
He
everything.
does play keys,
He's pretty amazing.
and I think
He's,
guitar.
but I think from like there are like singers who play bass as well, quite often, and from that you've got, I feel like even though you can't play the most notes in the band, because you're limited to maybe like 4 notes and then one from your voice at a time, and you're probably not going to play all 4 strings at once because it's not going to work. You've got the most.
Stanley Clarke. No.
Well, yeah. You've got the most sort of impact, because if you change the bass note of a chord, it completely like changes what that chord is.
Right.
You've got the bass.
I don't really understand what he's saying technically, but I sort of follow how he's trying to explain it. Yeah.
And if you change the melody note of the melody, then like that, the melody is kind of the most important thing.
Right.
You're trying to that the rest of the band is trying to reinforce that, right?
Yeah.
That sort of and then and then the bass note changes the context in which the melody is. And
Right.
Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so I guess if you're singing and playing the bass,
Interesting.
you can.
I'm learning stuff
reframe
here.
it. Some
Good
the-
teacher, this
theory.
guy. Hit him up for lessons when he gets to the UK. He might need the extra money.
Oh, yeah, really, definitely need that.
All you UK people. Hey, Andy Edwards, if you're watching this, probably not, but you might one day. A bit like you, Andy, how you always say maybe you'll get Rick Beato on your channel. Well, I'm going, Andy, maybe I'll get you on my channel. But what I'm saying is, when Harry gets to the UK, I'll send you his details. Get him around. Have a jam with Harry. You might be surprised, mate. It's an up-and-coming young bass player. Stop playing with all your old fogey mates. Get some youth into the band. I can say this because I know you know, it's up your alley, Andy. You wouldn't mind. You wouldn't take me too seriously. And get some youth in there, like some of your students are, to kick your butt on the drums. And, you never know. And it's all about networking, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is what you know, sure, but a lot of it is who you know. I'm sorry, but that's the bottom line at the end of the, success. Yeah, it's talent and what you know, but that's all no good if you haven't got a network and you don't have the connections. So mate. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that could be very interesting. God, I've run out of things to say. I should have. See, I didn't pre-plan this much. I just wrote down bands I could remember Harry played in, but we just took it from there. And somehow I think it's more interesting. It's more natural. So, Harry, do you want to talk about anything else that we may not have covered? This could be the last time for who knows how long that anybody in Aotearoa, New Zealand, is going to hear what you have to say before you jump ship. Ship. Traitor. No. Got to do it, mate. Got to kick those bombs up the backside and go, hey, you know what? We've got some good musicians down here.
Yeah.
We can be your Yusuf Days and your all of those guys, those alternative jazz guys or whatever you want to call them. We've got people here that are just as good. They just don't get the exposure because we live bloody miles away and expensive to travel overseas. Aaron was talking about it, wasn't he? What's that song?
Oh yeah.
What's it? One of the songs that Harry's new band Freq wrote. What's it called? Oh, my friends. What is it?
Well, he's saying, what is it?
Yeah, but it's got a title.
Yeah. Oh, it's called A Second of Your Time. But that doesn't.
Second of Your Time. It's so good. It's funny too. Aaron, he plays the Moog, is it?
Yeah.
And sings.
Grandmother.
And they wrote the song about second of your time, and part of the lyrics in it, in this band Freq, Harry's new band, is that all my friends are going overseas, and you can't blame them, blah blah blah. But I wish I could go, but I can't. It's too expensive, or something along those lines. And he's right, because we live down way the fuck bottom down of there. Not like you guys in the UK or the US. The US is a huge country. You can tour forever. People aren't going to. If you could be the best band in the world. If you tour in New Zealand, they're going to get sick of you, and there's not enough people to pay enough money to make it worth your while. So what are you going to do? Yeah, you can go on the internet, but you really sell yourself live and online. But it's not the same, eh? I've seen. I just want to say this, and this is Harry's interview, but I just want to say, a lot of bands, in my view, you see them live even on, right? You've never seen them live in person. You see them live on video, and it's good. It's never as good as when you're there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're up close.
Yeah.
And you can see the musos interacting.
Yeah.
What's going on between them. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Trust me. I can't be bothered with going to these concerts where you're way up the back.
Yeah,
they've got screens. Well, if they've got screens, you might as well go home and watch the video version. I mean, come on. Come on.
Like your stadium
I want to... It's their world. I want to be in their world, and the only way you can do this. That's why a lot of these big bands, and they still end up doing it, or any artist, they after a while they go, "Oh, we want to do a small tour for a change, intimate venues, because they can see the audience up close, and the audience can see them, and it's much more personal. It's much more intimate. It's always a better gig.
Yeah.
For both.
Yeah, definitely.
You agree?
Yeah.
Something about it, eh? But anyway, well, we're coming up to an hour. It's probably long enough, and I'm holding Harry up. He's a busy man. He's got so many things to do, and he's moving away, and he's got a lot to do. So, thanks, Harry, for coming on. I hope this went all right for you. It's only my second interview.
Oh, yeah.
And
no technical difficulties.
I'm not going to edit to this because, as I've said before on my channel, I still haven't learned to edit, and I'm not worried about it.
This could be the one.
This could be the one, but I'm not. It will probably go up as long as Harry's all right with it, and I'm all right with it. Why not? What have we got to lose? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Harry Scholes, aka Harrison Scholes, one of the finest young, new, up-and-coming bass players in Wellington and in Aotearoa, in my view, about to embark overseas. We're sorry to see him go, but I think this is a good thing. He needs to get in amongst the international scene. Get with the big boys or whatever. Just something different, where there's a lot more going on. A lot more to choose from. So thank you, Harry, for coming in.
Cheers.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Get to know you a bit better. I've known Harry for a while, but it's never, at gigs, we run into each other gigs, but of course they're always busy packing in, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's nice to catch up. We caught up a bit before the interview, and obviously during, I got to know him a bit better. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm going to do this because I'm new to this. Some people hate it. I'm not going to have one of those things that pop up like subscribe, although sometimes it's good, and a lot of them do it in the middle. Even Rick Piatto does it, right? Wow, because he's got 2 channels. He goes, some of you don't know, I've got a second channel and you aren't subscribed to it. But I'm not going to do any of that, right? All I'm going to say is if you like what you've seen and you want to see more of this sort of stuff, do you want to see more interviews? I'm just a novice. This is only my second one. But, you know, the more I do, perhaps they'll get better. It all depends on the interesting people I have on it, like Harry, right? So if you want to see more, like the video, even better, subscribe. Guess what? You're not committed to anything. If you subscribe, you don't have to pay any money. And guess what? If you get sick of me and you go, ugh, this guy drives me out the wall, unsubscribe. It's a no-brainer, right? Or switch over to something that you do like. I mean, don't complain about it. Just do it. God, there's enough of that in the world, isn't there?
Yeah.
So it's goodbye from me. Harry, do you want to say goodbye to...
Yeah.
Maybe this is an opportunity, I don't know, I just thought of this now off the top of my head, to perhaps say goodbye to people you know, be it, especially music-wise, who may be watching this, because I guess your family won't, or they might get to see it eventually, or friends, and that you may not get a chance to see before you leave. Do you?
I'm not really one for a big heartfelt goodbye. But yeah, I guess see you. Subscribe to Noel's YouTube channel.
Okay, well, on that note, I'm going to hope that this hasn't timed out. What I mean is my remote, otherwise I'm going to have to do it manually. And let's see. So, ka kite, goodbye from me. Didn't work, you said.
Yeah, there you go.